to YouTube? It's your boy. Hey, yo, welcome back to with another Tex Nation Fan Talk. You already know what time it is today. I'm coming at y'all with some exclusive interview from Davis Mills on the 610 podcast radio show on the Odyssey app. So shout outs to 610 in the loop for getting this exclusive coverage from Davis Mills. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash the like, and you will see more Houston, Texas content. Go ahead and drop the sub. I will be delivering Houston, Texas content throughout training camp, throughout preseason, and throughout the 2022 NFL season. Let's go ahead and jump into this, y'all. Let's take a listen to Davis Mills' interview on 610 The Loop. Now, I will be giving my reaction to it in between. So, yeah, y'all bear with me. Let's go ahead and jump into this.
For the Houston Texans, Davis Mills joins us. Now, Davis, I would ask how confident you are, but sometimes a little hair below the nose speaks louder than some words. When you're rocking the mustache, and we didn't even notice this, you must be feeling pretty good heading into year two.
Definitely. I mean, the mustache just a little switch up. Had a beard all last week and decided to clean it up a little bit. We'll see how long it stays, but definitely confident coming into this year. Felt like I took a big jump in the offense and just going out and making plays out there on the field at the end of last season. So I'm really excited for this year and stepping up from what I did at the end of last year.
If you could say, what was the high point of last year for you and the low point of last year as you look to build on that in year two?
I think the high point was really those last couple games where I stepped in as a starter and was starting to play some of my best football. Felt really comfortable out there making plays, and the biggest change you notice out on the field is you're not going out there and thinking much. You're just going out and reacting and playing football, and that's really what I've been doing my whole life. So it was nice to kind of get the feel and the sense of that at the next level at the end of last year. And the low point was probably there was two. One of them might have been the Buffalo game.
Okay.
4 picks.
Yeah.
I think we got shut out. One of the worst games of my life. I think I rebounded after that the week after. And then there was another time early last year, started training camp.
I remember. We talked about, trust me, I'm not, yeah, it was 6. We kept track. And we talked to Justin Reed afterwards, and Justin said, he kind of went and tapped you on the shoulder. You've been pretty clean here, though. I don't think you've thrown an interception, but what was that last practice like? Because some people were like, you're overreacting. I was like, no, I'm sure that was kind of a learning point for you.
No, it was rough. I think it was at the end of one of the first weeks. We probably had...
I think it was a Saturday,
maybe. It was a Saturday night scrimmage.
So we might have had 4 or 5 installs in up to that point. Was really, we're installing one thing every single day, and at the end of the week, you kind of go back and we're calling plays from every single install. So my head was all over the place. Was just trying to go out there, and, made a couple poor decisions. And, you throw those interceptions, they make you pay for it. So, luckily it was in practice, though, and not... not early in the season.
Now, as y'all heard, Davis Mills is trying to get more accustomed. He's taking on that role as being QB1, the franchise quarterback as of right now for the Houston Texans. I'm excited for Davis Mills to see what he does, being more comfortable in the system and, the program as that guy last year. We all know there were hella distractions on the Houston Texans. Davis Mills wasn't even, considered to be starting on the team. When we drafted him, we didn't really have the idea that Davis Mills would be playing for the Houston Texans in 2021, but he ended up doing it, and, he looked pretty good in a lot of games, and, a lot of games he did need to have some improvement. Now, also in this soundbite, Davis Mills goes over his 2 worst experiences of being a NFL pro. His first was the Buffalo Bills game, which we all know, but that game was pretty damn bad. He had like 4 interceptions. He looked pretty bad. That was the first, really blowout, biggest, deficit of his career. So, that was a big blow for him. And also, during training camp, we all know the reports of last year. Davis Mills looked like the worst quarterback at training camp in the history. Well, something like that. I think Sean Pendergast, one of them guys, said it on Twitter. I will have it right here. It's on the screen. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to this next soundbite from Davis Mills.
Sometimes coaches, I don't want to call it mind games, but they always talk about competition. There's no starter. Lovie Smith, second day of training camp, comes out and says, Davis Mills, he's our quarterback. When we vote for team captains, I'm voting for Davis Mills. What's it like just having Lovie in your corner like that?
It's pretty cool. Obviously, it's humbling. I mean, I think I still have a lot to prove and a lot to work on every day we come out here on the field. Got to prove it to my teammates, got to prove it to myself. But, I mean, I'm here to work and get better each and every day. So, I mean, I think the leadership role comes with being the quarterback. You got to step up into that role and lead the team, and I feel very confident and comfortable doing that. So, I'm ready to roll with
now, Davis Mills is accepting, like I said, beginning, he's accepting that role of being QB1 for the Houston Texans. This is big for Davis Mills because he is that guy. He is getting a lot of confidence from guys like Lovie Smith, like Nick Caserio, like Pep Hamilton, even a lot of players, Justin Britt, Laramie Tunsil. A lot of these guys are really buying into Davis Mills. That says a lot, man. It's really good when the team, the coaches, your peers, everyone around you is saying, hey, you are that guy. We believe in you. We want you to lead us. We're giving you all our confidence. That, that's very big for a quarterback, especially a young guy, a second-year guy. A lot of teams really can't say they have a young guy stepping up and being that guy. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'm so high on Davis Mills, and that's why I have so much confidence in this guy, that he can take us over that hump and do some things for this franchise that we haven't seen before. Let's go ahead and get into the next soundbite.
We're missing the obvious question. How have you, in your view, come along this year? Like, what's happening on the field for you?
I mean, I think I really took the momentum from the last couple of games last season when we really started playing some of our best football. Mm-hmm. I took it into the offseason, then I think I showed up in OTAs, and then really the start of this camp, and I've carried on that momentum. I think we've been playing really well as an offensive unit so far, and I mean, I'm excited to go out and put out some points in preseason, and then once we kick off the season versus the Colts at home.
Now, in this one, Davis Mills is talking about building off the momentum he had at the end of the season. We all know those last couple games, Davis Mills was really on a roll. And if he would have started off like that, his numbers would have been phenomenal. He would have I honestly think he would have broke the single-year rookie touchdown record and possibly the yardage. He would have done a lot his rookie season. He had some records being broken last year, but I really think if he would have started off hot, he would have been doing great. My personal opinion, I've been saying this now that I know what really transpired. If we allow Davis Mills to be the starter, day one, instead of giving it to Tyrod Taylor, just say, you know what, this year is a scratch. We all knew, a lot of fans knew. I was kind of optimistic about the situation, but a lot of fans knew. They were saying it. This year is just like a building block year. We got to see what we're building towards. And if that was the case, we should have had Davis Mills starting day one. We should just let the guy we drafted first in the 2021 draft go ahead and start from the beginning, see what we have in him, and build on to that into his second year. Because, that would have been hella good for his confidence, and we probably would have seen better play from him. No. All right, and now let's get into the next soundbite from Davis Mills. I believe this is going to be the last one we have. Well, no, I think we got two more, so let's get into this one.
You're on your second head coach. You're on your second offensive coordinator. How different is the offensive system? Are you learning a new system? What are the differences between this system and last year's?
It's very different. Last year, I think the base of the system was kind of the New England scheme.
Okay.
A lot of those coaches and Tim Kelly.
Isn't that hard before the snap? We always hear seems like you're taking a test before the snap.
Completely quarterback-driven pre-snap. And the big focus from Pep this year when he stepped into the role was he wants to take as much off of the quarterback as he can so we can play fast. Obviously, we still have a lot of control in making sure we're in the correct protection and the correct mic point, basically confirming or changing anything, but the center is doing the initial point and making the initial calls. So that takes a lot off my plate, especially in the run game when we can just go out there and play fast and the center is pointing it. But I have a lot of familiarity with this system from what I did out at Stanford and my 4 years at college, because this is the new pro style, or the old pro style system where all the verbiage is pretty much the same from what I did in college. So a lot of it, looking back and installing these new plays, was pretty easy going forward.
Now, he says Pep Hamilton's scheme is more QB friendly for him. He feels like this scheme is a lot less complex than Bill O'Brien, Tim Kelly's scheme. We all kind of knew that. Been said for years that Bill O'Brien's scheme is very complex, and it's like doing rocket science when it shouldn't even be that hard for the players you have in the system. It wasn't just hard for the quarterback from being said from past players. It was hard for the offensive line, the weapons from wide receiver, tight end to the quarterback. It was just a very hard, complex offense. And, it's good that Davis Mills is having something that he's familiar with. And also the guys on the offensive line can really build off and say that they understand it also. So that's going to be very good for Davis Mills and the team going forward. Let's get into this last soundbite.
Across the NFL are going to be talking a lot about this year is the wide receivers. You got Brandon Cooks. I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah.
the guys.
Yes, we have to the computers and pulling up cut-ups than I have to do it at my house on the iPad. So
one of the things that us and others who follow this team and across the NFL are going to be talking a lot about this year is the wide receivers. You got Brandon Cooks. I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah.
The guy's been terrific. And then we all have questions. I mean, how are you handling that? I mean, just in terms of meeting rooms to the field and because they're going to ask your input as well, like what you're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, we have Brandon, and then we got a handful of other guys who are competing to be that number 2 right now. But, I mean, I think I'm excited. I'm really excited for what we have in that room and their playmaking abilities to go out and make plays. I mean, I don't know if there's a clear-cut number 2. I think there's a lot of guys who are stepping up into that role. I mean, that we have a lot of weapons out there, so it's hard to choose.
Now, in this one, as y'all heard, Davis Mills is building a well-rounded connection with the guys on the offensive side of the ball, of course, because he's an offensive player. But yeah, with the wide receivers, those guys, he named Brandon Cooks as being really that alpha wide receiver on the weapon side. Nico Collins is the clear-cut wide receiver 2, according to Davis Mills himself. He feels like it's a battle between guys, and that kind of says a lot, in my personal opinion. That says that Davis Mills, he has confidence in his guys, which is good. During the offseason, he was working with guys like Chris Conley, Chris Moore, Nico Collins, Connor Wedgerton, a lot of different guys who are on the team right now. He was working with them during the offseason. So he has more of a connection with these guys, and I really think that's a great thing that Davis Mills did, and also just in general for this team. But yeah, those are going to be the talking points for Davis Mills. Exclusive interview with 610 in the Loop on the Odyssey app. This is not paid advertisement for them dudes. I'm not getting paid for this, but shout outs to them guys for getting this, this content. It's your boy El Noah signing off. Peace. Go Texans.